All right, good morning. Welcome to this video. I think this is as good a spot as any to kind of chill out for a second and welcome you to the last day of the year. This will be the last video, last ride of the year, and I'm hopeful that this will actually be the first video on the new channel and the new website. I'm out today doing a little mountain biking. Not something I do all the time, but I do enjoy it. It's a little muddy out here, which is kind of fun, and I'm riding the big dog today, the Santa Cruz, and it goes over everything, and that's good because there's a lot of fallen trees out here. We've had some weather that, some high winds in the last couple of weeks with those storms and stuff that came through the U.S. And here in Connecticut, we didn't get buried in snow like some folks in other parts of the country, but we did get wind and rain, and but the last couple of days has been beautiful. We've had some thaw, some cooler temperatures, and it's cooler, more mild temperatures, I should say. Not frozen temperatures, and the ground's thawed out a little bit, so there's lots of mud out here. It's New England, and we have mud and fog and a little drizzle, and it is absolutely perfect. So riding out here today with no one else but myself, just enjoying it, although off in the distance every now and then you get the sound of mountain biking in New England. You get that brake squeal out there, so every now and then you can tell that somebody else is out here joining you and having some fun. So we're gonna move on down the trail. I'll hook up in a little bit, and here we go. All right, a little farther on down the trail, I am fortunate enough to have this beautiful reservoir area with trails and both paved and dirt trails, logging trails, power line trails, etc. Just a few miles out from my house, so I get to come out here, ride the hills up and down, get some flats, get some smooth texture on the pavement when I need it, and then back out and around into the mud and gravel and a little bit more technical stuff. Nothing super technical, but it rides pretty well. It's an enjoyable area, and you can dive right into the woods and everything else just pretty quick. So it's a good spot and a lot of fun and good places to pull over on the days when we don't have this lovely fog out or mist. You get sunshine, and obviously in the fall the leaves and everything, so it's a pretty nice area. I enjoy it. So here we go. Just gonna take a minute, talk about Santa Cruz. This bike has actually it's come up a few times in some of the comments and questions because I have done some repair videos with it, but this is a 2020 Chameleon from Santa Cruz. I did buy this bike actually used. I didn't build it up. It is a custom build up, and the guy that I bought it from had put a lot of work into it. Built it up kind of nice. It suits me fine. I'm, a 90s mountain biker, really a road biker, gravel biker, but mountain biking in the 90s, I always rode hardtails, limited front suspensions, but we did have them, obviously. And the nice thing about this bike, the thing that I like about it is that it's actually one of the lighter bikes that I have, and it suits me really well. First mountain bike I ever owned with disc brakes. Got some Race Face Arc 24s for wheels, obviously with the Maxxis Minion DHR2s on there, so some nice kind of fat grippy tires to cut through the mud, and full XT components on here, so everything rides and shifts and clicks and does what it's supposed to, as you would expect from Shimano. And nice spank seat post that's comfy on the rear end there, and out front, as I said, the XT hydraulic braking system. E13 handlebars are very nice with a DD on the front there holding everything together. So yeah, so my 2020 Chameleon. I think the one thing that I would probably upgrade at some point is getting a dropper post on here, but I don't do too much technical, and coming from an era when I didn't really use a dropper post, I actually like the seat up when I'm doing technical stuff because I use it for stability and just keeping my bike from sliding around, because I kind of wedge that seat in between my inner thigh a little bit and kind of hold everything nice and stable. So anyways, to each his own, I guess, but that is my 2020 Santa Cruz Chameleon. Hey, so one of the things that I neglected to mention earlier when I talked about the Santa Cruz was the Fox 34 fork. This fork is unbelievable. It's fantastic, at least in my world. I know there's other ones out there, but this is This is a massive upgrade from anything that I've ever had before, and it does me well. I will be the first to admit that I don't know everything in the world about, you know, especially modern suspension forks. I do know a bit. I've been riding them for years, but only really service the stuff from, you know, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So this was a massive upgrade for me, and you know, it works well. It's got all the settings that I need, and I'll admit I haven't quite learned everything in the world about it, but I do know that if I turn that dial one way, I don't get as much rebound. If I turn it the other way, I get a lot of rebound. And so I will adjust that as I go along, whether I'm uphill or on the bouncy stuff. And this fork is great, and I really enjoy it. So here's the thing. I'm probably, you know, a little overbiked, or maybe not overbiked is the right term, but outclassed for what I own versus my skills and my skill set. But I'm 53, almost 54, and I really wanted something that was up to date, had modern technology, mainly disc brakes and geometry. It's got 29ers on it that fucking roll over anything, and it is just a fantastic bike. I love it. It's going to be in my, you know, arsenal of bikes. And, you know, if you ask my wife, I got too many bikes. Actually, I'll admit I have too many bikes, but each to their own, and that's my thing. But this bike is something that I don't ride as much as some of my other bikes, particularly my gravel bike, my road bike. But every now and then I do like to get out and enjoy the woods and check out the trails and ride some gravel and feel comfortable and have some fun getting muddy. And I'm going to continue to do it as long as I can. And I think that's the trick. It's, you know, you got to get out there and use it and do it. Otherwise, you're going to lose it, as the saying goes. And, you know, mentally, I love riding bikes. I've been riding bikes since I was, you know, ever since I can remember. I remember being like 4 or 5 years old, having a little green bike, you know, I learned to ride kind of how they tell people to teach their kids how to ride today, which is the balance method, not so much the like hold and push and run beside your kid kind of thing, but put them on a balance bike and let them scoot themselves around. So I had this little green bike that I would go out in the backyard, and we had a little slope, and I would just cruise down it, up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's how I kind of learned. And then my parents, you know, in 1975 or 76, they upgraded me to the coolest Huffy. It was like a bicentennial edition Huffy. I'll put a little picture in here if I can find it. But it was just a fantastic bike, and I learned to ride that. I rode it around for a while, but then I transitioned into really into road bikes. And my younger brother, he actually had the opportunity to transition to BMX bikes. I never really did that, so I rode on the road, and you know, in the 80s. ABC Sports on Sunday afternoons or Saturday afternoons, I forget. They used to put, you know, you got 4 Saturdays or something in the summertime in July where they would put the Tour de France on for a couple hours, and I would watch that, and it was awesome, and you know, just mesmerizing. Greg LeMond was the guy in the mid 80s that was on the 7-Eleven team, was, you know, one of those people that was our sort of heroes. And in 1985, I got a new road bike, which I still ride. It's my indoor bike every winter. I love that. It's the Lotus Classique, and it's actually a bike that probably gets ridden almost just on an hour basis, probably as much as any of my other bikes. Well, maybe not, but I ride it all winter long on the trainer, and that's what kind of keeps me going. So hopefully I'm not out of shape too much when I get back out in the springtime on the roads when the weather clears up. So anyways, in my 50s, my goal is to ride all of my bikes as much as I can, and just have a great time, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy the roads, enjoy the woods. It's peaceful out here. Trickling sound of a wood-filled stream. Well, water-filled stream in the woods. Ha! All right, I just want to wrap up this video before I get back to where the road is, because it's awful noisy there, a lot of cars and everything. And I just want to take a moment to wish everybody Happy New Year. Hopefully I'll have this video up by tonight and or tomorrow morning, and we'll be into 2023. So good luck, everybody. Really wish you all a Merry New Year. Hopefully the holidays were great and we can get off to a good start with 23. My advice is go get it. You know, what are you waiting for? It's just not going to come to you. You got to go grab it. You got to go do it. Take care of it yourself. And as someone just told me a few days ago, the only one you can bet on really is yourself, usually. So go make it happen. Go do it. Take 23 and leave all the shit behind that 22 and 21 and 20 have presented us. And let's plow ahead. Economy looks like, who knows? Economy is always going to be shit. Everybody's always looking at doomsday for the economy. But go out, work hard, figure out what you need to do to survive, and at the end of the day, be happy. And if that means, like for me, riding bikes and getting out in the woods and enjoying silence once in a while, and challenging yourself on some hills and whatnot, then awesome. If you're somebody who wants to, there's a couple jumps up here behind me, I'm not the kind of rider who's ever gonna, take my bike and send it down a 20-foot vertical moss-covered rock face. I think those days have passed me, but who knows? Maybe one day it could be a challenge there. I don't know. I kind of like my collarbones the way they are. But if you're out there, go send it. Send it in your job. Send it in your personal life. Send it in your relationship. Whatever it is, and just make it happen. There's no time like the present. We're not getting any younger. Use the time that you have to the best that you can, and get out there and ride a bike once in a while, or go for a run or walk. Just do something. Use your body. Like I said earlier, I'm 53. I love to ride bikes. My body mostly likes to ride bikes. I have to coax it along sometimes and fix it and stretch it and do what I can to make it keep going. But I feel like if I'm not going for it, if I'm not riding, if I'm not using my legs, if I'm not using my lungs, then it's all gonna just go to crap. And what's the point of that? So let's have a great new year. All right, this is the end of this video. Take care. 하나 껴놔줘. Right over that. That's all it is. Slide out sideways on some ice. Where are we going?